Dover is the closest town in Britain to our nearest and dearest neighbours, the French, with whom we've had many a scrap over the years, including one that went on for a whole century. We did go over and save them twice over the last 100 years, but as a nation, they're not generally that big on gratitude. Over the years, Dover has always been well garrisoned. The cliffs above the town show the geometric patterns of the walls much loved by the gunners of the Napoleonic era. The cliffs are a greer of tunnels and gun emplacements. The castle itself is much older, Norman times, although Henry II built most of what we see today. The harbour is big enough to have its own tidal chart and a complete leisure beach, all within its perimeter wall. I was in Dover on a Sunday night. The shops were shut, but the ferries kept rolling, and so did the trucks. The harbour is a real 24 hours a day sort of place. So, if you want a quiet place for the night, Dover is not it. The next morning my instructions were to motor along the outer edge of the harbour wall, check with the harbour control that I wasn't going to get run down by the next ferry coming in, and head off on the short hop to Ramsgate, with a force 6 blowing up my transom. I don't really know what the weather's going to be like out there, so I'm going to batten down the hatches and put the lid on just as a safety precaution. When I get to the end of this long arm here, then I have to call harbour control and ask permission to leave, because I've no idea whether there's a ferry coming round the corner at 12 knots. The white cliffs of Dover. Yeah, they do look pretty white today actually. There's Dover. It was rough enough, and the newly installed self-steering was working a treat. I'd like to be sailing today, but I can't because the engine's stuck in forward gear again. Don't know why. It's a different thing from the problem last time. Then it started to get a bit rougher. I decided eventually that all round there ought to be a human hand on the tiller. And just in case it doesn't look very rough on the camera, this was a yacht going the other way. Then I decided it was time to put my non-waterproof camera away.